On a cat. So, hi guys. In today's video, I will tell stories about school. I don't think I'll really ever run out of stories about school. I have a lot of them, like a lot, because I spend a lot of time at school. And anyway, this video will have some nice speed traces and an actual speed paint, probably. So now I will tell some stories about school. My first story is that this girl in my class, and this girl is a figure skater. And a little note, I'm a figure skater too. I am pretty good at it. I can't really do any jumps, but there's actually a lot more to figure skating than just jumps. So by those standards, I'm pretty good. But let me tell you about her. She's in nationals, and if you did not know, that is really big. I don't know how, but I know it is. She says that she has really hard training, like not eating breakfast, but sometimes I think she's like kind of kidding because she's just like, this isn't mean, but she's slightly chubby, and she literally lied about an illustration on the cover of a sketchbook being hers. When I looked it up on the internet, there was a sketchbook being sold with that exact picture. Yeah, but she's still pretty good at skating, even if she might be exaggerating about some things. But now she's kind of quit. She's still doing lessons, just less, but it's because her coach is really ill, and her coach won't be able to teach her for another year or so. Also, she's one of my closest friends. I don't have many friends, but she is one of my closer ones. So my second story is the trauma of Russian class. I don't love Russian class, and most people in my class don't love it either. I kind of hate it because my Russian is really bad. I go to a Russian speaking school, and I cannot do Russian reading comprehension for the life of me, and I barely understand it, and the only thing I can do is grammar. Because of that, I'm kind of scared of being called on in class, and I've done a lot of tests badly. Anyway, something funny is kids forget their homework so much or just do it the day of. But I'm not exempt from this. I forgot my homework for the entire, I think, first quarter of school because we were expected to print it ourselves, and I did not know that we had it at all. So I ended up having to do it all in one weekend, or I would be failed. We have 2 days of Russian a week, and each day that we have it on has 2 periods of it. Tuesday is writing and grammar, which I'm actually pretty good at. I can kind of do the worksheets we're given. And Thursday is reading comprehension. I cannot do reading comprehension. Those days feel very long because on Thursday we also have a bunch of other painful periods like PE and grammar, in English as well. And this is random, but we can't take water bottles in there. Not sure why, but that's probably because I don't understand what's happening during Russian class. Story number 3, Miss Vegan and how she kind of sucks. She's our English teacher for 4th, 5th, and 8th grades. There's not a 6th or 7th grade in my school, and she's apparently not our main teacher, but it really feels like she is because we go to her classroom before school starts. We have English as the most often subject. We go on field trips with her, even if they aren't really English. Okay, so she's really present a lot of the time, though. She has not missed any days except for the first day of school, where we didn't even have her class anyway, and all of the other teachers have been absent for at least a week or aren't scheduled to come to school every day. She forces corrections on us, even if you only got one wrong or were absent. She made me do corrections on sketching a landmark. It was meant to be done on a field trip, but instead I had to use Google. She also overreacts on a lot of things, like you just saw, and she has a lot of weird rules. She gave a girl a B on her book report because she had a fidget on her desk, which she wasn't using, while she was listening to someone else's book report. She will stare into your soul if you don't say good morning upon entering her classroom. She makes us do a weird handshake before we enter her classroom for class. And she takes end of grade testing way more seriously than our other teachers. She also cares way too much about dieting. She drinks a lot of weird protein liquids, and I don't want to call them drinks because they're gross. I don't like her, and most of my class doesn't really either, but sadly when I looked her up on like LinkedIn, it says that she's really good. Also, she's a roller skater, and apparently she does a lot of roller skating. So now here are some random stories about school. Number 1, the math teacher is absent really often. She spent 2 weeks in, I think, October in Russia. She was, after winter break, she was in Russia again. And after winter break, she was also absent again because, I don't know, something happened to her arm. At number 2, in the math classroom, there's a clock with 9s in equations as the only numbers, which I actually think is pretty cool. Picture, please, editor. And number 3, there's a weird social dynamic. So these aren't the actual names, but I'm just saying it because for fun. So there's the Axis teams, which is most of the girls in my class. There's the Allies, which is me, 2 other girls. Yes, there are a lot of girls in my class. And the boys. We sit at separate tables, and only one girl is not on either side. Switzerland, am I right? Please don't attack me for that joke. Also, lastly, many people are leaving alongside potentially me, so it's kind of sad. So I hope you liked this video. I am physically dying for it to be summer. And I have another cool project coming next week. It's a little animation of a Russian song. Goodbye! On, cat out.